Hello Internet, my name is Plazukas, and today's video is going to be on the culture of the Internet. Everyone has observed how the Internet has kind of down spiraled into negativity, into anger, and vitriolic counter narratives, and just this perception of being the bad guy persona. And I have a video that's on the docket here in a minute that's going to talk about this. It's Mtashed who's saying that you can be nice online. And although I disagree with that, I think there's a potential that when Trump becomes president, that this narrative, that this toxicity will maybe, hopefully, calm down because there's going to be enough toxicity in the world as it is that we don't need it in these spaces, that we're going to try to escape it in some way through social media. Not just us, but other people who supported Trump. That is just a guess, an assumption. I could be completely wrong, and people like Tectone will still, or Dr. Disrespect will still be very popular, the most popular. Nerdronic will be the most popular, and these negativity, these all these driven toxic people will continue to rise to the top. But we'll see. But let's watch this video from MTash real quick and then respond at the tail end of it.
This one's gonna be crazy. You don't have to be shitty to be successful. Online, you don't have to be shitty about women. You don't have to be racist. You don't have any of these things. You don't have to be edgy. You can be a nice person. You can have a wife and kids. You can have hobbies outside of gaming, outside of content creation. You can be a nice person. You truly can. Unfortunately, I think that there is a bit of an epidemic where some of the most popular people out there are relatively shitty. We're all shitty in our own ways. No one's perfect. But there are so many young men out there that are being essentially brainwashed by some of the most successful people on the platforms. And, I always liken it to if you had a yacht that had a broken fire alarm and it was just constantly, right? It's just going off. How long would you want to stay on that yacht? Even though it's this amazing, beautiful thing, if the fire alarm would not stop, would you want to stay on that thing long? You'd be driven crazy. Well, if you become a successful person with millions of dollars and all these things and a mansion that people could spend their time in, if you are a shitty person with a bad personality that's rude to everyone and misogynistic and homophobic and racist and all these different things, you become the fire alarm. You can have everything in the world. And if you're a shitty person, no one will want to spend time with you. Think about that on the way up.
If you are getting the feeling that this was a direct video in response to Tectone and all the Tectone hate that has come Mtash's way in the last 3 months, you're not alone. I read into that as just like a very well thought out takedown. Obviously not mentioning Tectone, not mentioning Andrew Tate, or any of these other people that are in the zeitgeist that are negative, that kind of do appeal to a younger male demographic. But he did mention mansion, and Tectone lives in a mansion, and who knows how his roommates are right now. The fact that OTK most likely let him go, and that even when he was in OTK, it was always a very strange thing because ultimately, I don't know. Tectone has some personality traits that I think rub people the wrong way. I don't know. I don't know why. I can't speak to his personal life. I can only speak to his online persona, and those would indicate, potentially the issues. And I think Mtash has a point here. Brainwash is everywhere, and the most vulnerable demographic is young people. Not just young men, women as well, or any other, ultimately. And the internet has co-opted this. Every generation, there's something that leverages young people for profit. And social media is this generation's example. My generation was cartoons with toys and stuff like that. That was co-opted by our youth, and we got exploited from it, and they made a lot of money. I think there was something in the 2000s where Pixar movies was where people were making the most money, and I know that's still the fact, but and that's still a cartoon per se, and I don't know all the zeitgeists that exist for every generation, but every generation has it. Cigarettes were the 50s or whatever, up until the 60s, 70s, like tobacco co-opted children to make money, and then it obviously changed when they started regulating it a little bit more. And who knows what's going to happen with that? With anything, vapes were another part of it as well. Ethan Klein from H3H3 used to be a prominent person who had that on his channel constantly. So you see this trend that exists always. And right now, it is basically the trend of the Andrew Tates, of the Jordan Petersons, of the Joe Rogans, the Adam Rosses, the Tech Tones that are catering to this young male demographic. And it's very, very successful. And so far, they're the ones on top because you got a bunch of mature men who have leveraged what is essentially a very good investment, because investors and people that are speculating, these scummy, greedy, corrupt people who have money, are giving them money, are incentivizing that, and that's how capitalist societies work. And it doesn't seem like that's going to stop. It's only going to get even more capitalistic, which is something I was going to make a separate video about, but it's worth talking about now. You have Rumble. It's going to be a new competitor to Kick or to Twitch or to YouTube, and it's like a blend of YouTube. And if Twitch and Kick had a baby with speculation part of the system where you can bet shit just on the platform itself, you don't have to even go to a separate site, so it's integrated into the software. You have people like Nerdronic over there, and also potentially Dr. Disrespect is going to sign a contract. Adam Ross is going to sign a contract. And so all these are going to shift as much as they have to in order to try to continue to create this echo chamber of this audience, and if they can keep on getting new people in, and it's a cycle until somebody regulates, until something happens, and then it stops, and then it happens all over again. So will we see the shift from negativity, from toxicity to positivity? I don't know. I hope so. I don't want it to be like overly woke per se. I don't want the narrative to be like we should support all rights no matter what indefinitely without any kind of debate or reason why. I don't want that. I want a very nuanced discussion, a very not an elitist intelligence discussion where nobody else can participate. I want everybody to be able to participate, even people that are not educated. That's been the issue as well. You need everybody to the table. You need all of this funk out there, and we need to clean it all up. And right now we don't have that. We have like a lot of it on this side and a lot of it on this side. We need to come together and have a little bit less toxicity, a little bit more positivity. It equals out, hopefully, to a very nice symbiotic result, and we all become better from it. And maybe we need to, from the fact that we're going to be dealing with maybe the worst world state that we've ever had since 70 years. Stay tuned. My name is Pazookie. If you'd like to comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.